Eric Paulzini here with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting into the cash plays here for week 6, and pretty crazy. I got done recording this video and then some slate breaking news broke with the cover boy here, so I had to go do and redo it. So guys, if you guys do appreciate this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You know, it helps me help you guys out, and it kind of makes me more motivated to go back and do stuff like that. So I am pretty excited about this week cash wise. It should be a week in which you can attack cash wise. The lineup approach is, I don't want to say it's direct, but it kind of is. Running back wise, there's 4 running backs that we're targeting. There are a decent amount of receivers that we're targeting, and we're either paying up at quarterback or we're paying down at quarterback, which makes it simple. Tight end plays, you can kind of play a couple of them, and we'll touch on that right now. So pretty obviously, if you can afford to pay up for Josh Allen, you should do that going against the Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, a pretty easy matchup. He's won for 30 DK points in all but one of his games against the Baltimore Ravens, which was actually his easiest matchup thus far. Still went for 24 DK points in that game. I think that we are going to be locking in at least 20 DK points in this matchup at 8.2. That is something I will be chasing. That is something I feel good about doing. So Josh Allen at 8.2 is something I am going out of my way to play. I'm going to put him in cash for now. If you guys watched the core plays video, you kind of already know this, but like Tom Brady, I'm perfectly fine with playing in cash, passing the ball a ton, gets an easy matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a matchup that Josh Allen just went for over 30 DK points against. I do think Tom Brady will have his 3rd straight game of over 20 DK points, so you could easily play him as well. Kirk Cousins, I'm fine with in cash, given the matchup as well. And I'm not saying to do this, guys, but I am saying if you love the rest of your build and you're trying to fit in all the studs, I do see a path in which PJ Walker gets to 3x. Not asking that much of him. That's about 15 DK points. Given the matchup with the LA Rams, which has actually been a matchup in which you can target, I could see him doing that. I am going to be choosing to pay up for Josh Allen for the most part, though. And at running back, let's just start with it. So Cam Akers was ruled out, guys. Okay, so he is out. And we instantly know what that means. That means that Darrell Henderson is going to step into a prominent RB role for the Los Angeles Rams, and he's going against the Carolina Panthers, a team that they're heavily favored against. Okay, so that would suggest that they're going to be running the ball a decent amount. Given the fact that, you know, he was already being used in the passing game a decent amount, 3 out of the 4 games, he saw at least 4 targets and was able to score over 4 DK points in the passing game. Okay, given that passing game usage, no matter what in this game, around 4 DK points there, and some work in the running game as well, he should be able to get to 2x pretty easily. If he scores a touchdown, obviously he'll break the slate. Given the matchup, given what Vegas is thinking, I do think Darrell Henderson is going to be a great RB play for you on this slate. And it is kind of interesting. They are going to be forced into playing Malcolm Brown now, okay, because Cam Akers is out and because they just let Jake Funk go. Interesting stuff there, okay, just interesting that Malcolm Brown kind of found himself into kind of a relevant role for the LA Rams. And then after that, like Saquon Barkley at 7.7 is a strange price point. You could make an argument that he should be the highest priced running back on the slate or one of the highest priced players on the slate, given his consistency and given his kind of RB position. The matchup with the Baltimore Ravens is not a matchup that scares you at all. So Saquon Barkley getting 20 plus opportunities per game is a player that I like a lot. Obviously, he is that offense, but with the matchup with the Baltimore Ravens doesn't scare me, and the price point is definitely intriguing. The question is, do you have to pay up for him? I would say I like Stevenson, the player I'm going to mention, and Saquon Barkley more than I do like Darrell Henderson, but I'm fine with Darrell Henderson as well, just given the price point, it is a little bit safer. So yeah, Stevenson, kind of just the obvious play. He's going to be the highest owned player on this slate, I think, going against the Cleveland Browns, a team in which just got destroyed by the Atlanta Falcons with all 4 of their running backs. They all looked elite. It was kind of crazy, just really strong run game there. And then the Los Angeles Chargers were able to back that up with Josh Kelly and Austin Eckler just doing work, okay? So this matchup with the Cleveland Browns should be one in which Stevenson goes out and dominates like he has done in 2 out of the last 3 weeks and still had 12.9 DK points against Green Bay. So given the matchup, given how much running opportunities and probably some work in the passing game Stevenson's going to get, he's just an easy play, especially at 6K. And then from there, Eno Benjamin is going to be kind of an easy play as well. All the players listed above him are going to be ruled out, or listed above him, I should say, are going to be ruled out in this game. That means that Eno Benjamin is going to step into a majority of the snaps, probably around 65% of the snaps, I would imagine, but it wouldn't be shocking to see him get like 80% of the snaps as well. We might see a little bit of Rondale Moore in the backfield as well. I'll get into that in a second, but Eno Benjamin is going to be a very safe play at 4.6. This feels a lot like Rashad Penny that week against Detroit, where it's kind of obvious, given the price point, that this is a mispriced play, given how much he's going to get used in this game, in the passing game. You know, a nice safe floor with around 4 targets, around 4 DK points in the passing game, and with how much he's going to get used. Given the price point, given the matchup, given the amount of opportunity he's going to get, he should be able to 3x, and it wouldn't be shocking to see him 4x. So Eno Benjamin is a player that I'm firmly playing. And so my biggest question is, do I want to go Henderson or Saquon Barkley? For now, I'm taking the price discount at running back and paying up for receiver. So who are the receivers that I'm choosing to pay up for? Well, Justin Jefferson makes a ton of sense in that matchup with Miami. We've seen him break the slate 3 out of 5 weeks, okay? But the problem is, the 2 weeks that he didn't, he was kind of terrible given the price point. So still some risk there associated with him, but a majority of the weeks, Justin Jefferson is going to come through for you. And then I feel like if you stack him with Diggs, like one of those two are bound to go off, okay? It'd be pretty rare if both of them don't. But it is tough to make a great lineup work with both of them. I've kind of just been finding myself playing one of them. I feel great about playing both of them, and you can certainly play both of them. They're both strong plays. It's kind of obvious. We know that. I do still really like Tyreek Hill in this matchup with the Minnesota Vikings. This is a game in which I think can be a little bit higher scoring. I'm not too worried about Skylar Thompson being the quarterback here. I don't think that's much of a downgrade, especially schematically for the Miami Dolphins, okay? Tyreek Hill is still going to get his targets. He still saw 7 targets last week. Now, it was only 13 DK points, but he was still getting that workload. I do think he's going to get around 10 targets in this game. The matchup with the Minnesota Vikings is a little bit better matchup than the New York Jets, which sounds kind of strange to say because the Jets, they've been stepping up this year. Good for them. 7.5, great price point, but we can even go further, guys. Mike Evans against Pitt. The easiest matchup on the slate, I absolutely love. Evans has been highly consistent, and he should have had a touchdown last week. They didn't rule the touchdown at 7K. It's just a price point that makes a lot of sense, but I still do love Chris Godwin as well. In that same matchup, 6.1 is super cheap for Chris Godwin, who's seen over 12 DK points the last 2 weeks. The only thing is these two need a touchdown, it seems like, okay? And they're kind of both due for a touchdown, given that the weakness for the Steelers is in the passing game. I expect these two to both be able to hit value. It's just how much can they exceed it. And then from there, like Deontay Johnson getting a ton of targets, you can certainly play him if you want to. Tyler Boyd's going to step into a bigger role with T. Higgins most likely limited. You had the head coach coming out and saying that they need to get him more involved. Romeo Doubs is a pretty cheap play that for like a guy that's going to get 8 targets. I'm fine with him. George Pickens still pretty cheap. You could play him in cash, but the player that I've been rolling with the most in cash, just given his price point, is Rondale Moore. Okay, going to play around 80 to 90% of the snaps. Saw 8 targets last week, and just looking at that role, I've mentioned this a couple times this week, the Greg Dortch role or Rondale Moore role, whatever role you want to call it, 4 out of the 5 weeks, it's been over 10 DK points, and the majority of the weeks, they've been priced at this strange 4.2-ish price point range, okay? That is a price point in which he should be able to 3x that. It's a price point that I really like, and this is a matchup in which Vegas thinks is going to be high scoring, okay? So factor in all those things, high target volume, high snap count, high Vegas game total. Even though the matchup looks a little bit more difficult on paper, Rondale Moore should be able to go off in that 4.2. He's just a player I'm going out of my way to play this week. And then from there, I do really want to fit in like Zach Ertz. Okay, Zach Ertz makes a lot of sense in that same game. High scoring game. He's been over 10 DK points in every game thus far. I still think Tyler Higbee, especially with Cam Akers out, that's just one more player, not getting volume. I still think Tyler Higbee's very cheap. He's a guy that should be able to get to 10 DK points. I like him as a play. Evan Ingram, I think he's more of a GPP play, but if you want to play him in cash, you could. Hunter Henry, I absolutely love if Jonnu Smith is ruled out. But the player I've been ending up on currently is Daniel Bellinger. I think his snaps count going to continue to increase. The worry is that the Giants aren't passing the ball enough to maintain or sustain multiple pass catchers. This is a play in which you make and you hope to just get like 5 DK points. And if he gets 8 or 10 DK points, you're happy with that as well. And honestly, guys, I have just been rolling with the Carolina Panthers defense right now. If I'm paying up for a defense, it will be the Jacksonville Jaguars. We saw how bad the Indianapolis Colts were. If Jonathan Taylor were to sit or is kind of limited, then that's obviously a lot easier as well. But I've just been going with the Panthers. I think they're going to be fired up to play well. I just like that. 2.4, I don't see them going negative. And then we have a lot of money to pay up. You can choose to pay up for wherever you want. So this is kind of the lineup, one of the lineups that I really like for this slate thus far. But like I said, you can kind of do a bunch of things. It's pretty nice that the lineup path is kind of laid out, but it's not like a direct path. It's not like a direct lineup that you have to make. There are certain different distinctions you can make, which I enjoy. All right, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give me a like and subscribe. That helps out the channel a lot, which thus helps me be able to help you guys out. If you guys want to join 9 to 5 and become a 9 to 5 member, the membership is $10 a month. It includes the NFL cheat sheet as well as the NFL lineup optimizer for DraftKings. It also is a golf membership. It's a golf membership at its heart, just so you guys know. All right, thanks for watching as always. Let's keep cashing.